To start my planning for my soap opera trailer, I had to research different soap genres such as social class soaps, melodramas, work-related soaps, and many more. I looked especially at Coronation Street, Hollyoaks, Emmerdale, and EastEnders because I knew that these were conventional British soaps with storylines which relate to the general public and to their target audiences. Also, I looked at American soaps such as Dallas, Sunset Beach, and Dynasty. I looked at these soaps to see the contrast between British and American soaps and to see how much harder it is for me to relate to an American soap than it is a British soap because I don't live in America. Therefore, I found it harder to relate to their own conventions. After looking through the melodramatic American soaps which emphasize emotion and exaggerate plots or action, I began to ponder with the idea of a parody and then began to look through different styles of parody, especially Spanish ones. I realised that the audience I would like to target would be the targeted audience from Hollyoaks, aged 15 to 24. I chose this age range because I have more experience being aged 17 in what this age range look for in soaps and how they are able to relate to storylines or at least be able to recognise them as everyday situations. The Hollyoaks trailers are all similar in the way that they are edited and portrayed. Most shots are at level with the characters' eyes or are just under to allow the audience to connect with the characters. These extreme close-up shots capture the emotions of the character and allow the audience to invade their personal space. Being so close to the emotions also makes the audience feel the emotions themselves, making the whole experience a lot more real for the viewer. The edits in Hollyoaks trailers are very dramatic by using fades to black. Tension is created by these long black pauses because the audience is in suspense as to what will be coming up after the black screen. A younger audience may be more taken to this effect in the trailer because it is a more modern aspect and today's generation is all about the development in technology. In this particular trailer, there's a lot of tension, so between scenes the producers used fade to black and then used a straight cut between conversations in one shot. I decided to mimic this technique in my own trailer to use the conventions in which Hollyoaks uses to target the 15 to 24 audience. The setting we used to film the soap trailer challenged the conventions of Hollyoaks. To make it a bigger challenge to ourselves, we merged a Hollyoaks storyline with an Emmerdale setting to see if we could develop conventions. Although the setting around the house in which we shot are fields and country land, the house resembled that of one in Hollyoaks. For example, the houses in Hollyoaks are well decorated and are very large in comparison to the houses in Coronation Street and EastEnders. The combination of conventions seemed to work well in our soap trailer because the storyline does fit in with the setting and surroundings in which we filmed. We had to move some of the furniture around in the house to enable us ease of access with the camera. The shots done in the living room, we had to move the centre table to allow room for the camera to move around to get all the shots in which we needed to create the trailer. It was easy enough for us to do this because the table wasn't huge, but I understand that the planning of a setting is a major issue when filming because it would have been a big difficulty if the table had been any larger. To interact with the audience, I chose to use the conventions from Hollyoaks of a modern song which a younger audience will be able to recognise. The song I chose, Jar of Hearts, sets the mood for the trailer and makes the trailer seem a lot different to if I had used an upbeat song. The lyrics in the song relate to the stereotypical storyline of soap operas, and especially my soap opera, Jar of Hearts. The lyrics can be applied to multiple storylines such as family feuds, romance, murders, and many more, which is why I thought it was suitable for me to use the song to name my soap after the title and to also have it as the theme tune for my soap opera. The combination of the song and the shots we used really goes deep into the storyline. We use shots where the character is looking into the camera as if we are looking from the other character's point of view. This creates an emotional involvement between the audience and the character, making the audience relate to the stories and to the characters' lives. We found this effective because it gives the audience a completely different level of interactivity into the characters' lives. Because the character, Kelly, looks into the camera while speaking, it puts the audience into the position of the opposite character, Paul. The title cards which I used created tension and mystery within the trailer. Hollyoaks trailers don't usually use title cards within their trailers, but I decided to work against their conventions to make the trailer my own and to develop their original idea so that I haven't directly copied it. I decided to use title cards to break up the trailer and to enable the audience to absorb the storyline.